Civilization Revolution is really taking the essence of Civilization, the game, but designing it anew for the console audience. The game has got a lot of great graphics, taking advantage of this new generation of consoles to really bring the game to life in a new way. Very colorful, very dynamic world, special effects. We're able to do some cool camera effects with depth of field and motion blur, things like that. The kings are brought to life with larger-than-life animations, emotions. You really kind of get into the interaction with the other king players in the game. Combat, a lot more dynamic and dramatic, different animations, explosions, physics, all sorts of cool stuff there. We've taken a lot of the game concepts and expanded them. There are now 4 distinct ways to win the game, each very interesting on its own. You can, again, build the spaceship to take you to Alpha Centauri, cool tech tree, famous people. Each city is designed to look like appropriate style for its own civilization. Each of the 16 civilizations plays in kind of a unique way, so there's really 16 games in there, not just one. And we've really enhanced the multiplayer aspects of the game. We have Xbox achievements, all sorts of cool leaderboards and things like that will allow you to compare your Civ skills to other players. You can play either competitive games or team games with other Civ players. We also have the Game of the Week, which is a way for single-player players to really compare their skills against other players around the world. That will download the beginning of a game to your computer. You'll be playing in the exact same map, the exact same starting conditions as everyone else in the world. But then it's up to you to kind of get that high score and become the world's greatest Civ player. So there are a lot of kind of great new features in this, really focused on the console marketplace. But we see this as a game for new Civ players and experienced Civ players as well. We've taken some parts of the game and expanded them. Some of them have been streamlined and made a little easier to play. The map, for example, each square on the map represents a larger area of the world, so that it's more quicker to move from one place to another. That you have a smaller number of more distinct and unique cities. Each city kind of has its own personality. The game, the overall speed of the game has been increased, so you can play a full game in anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. But I think what we tried to do was really identify the key elements of a Civ game. What is it that really makes a Civ game exciting? What is it that creates that story in your mind? And really make sure those elements of the game were played up and even enhanced. The kind of race to victory at the end, I think, is very dramatic with the different styles of victory that you can win. Cities are a lot easier to manage. You can focus a lot more on your strategy as opposed to the details of management. It's very easy now to kind of change from one strategy to another. You just have to make a few changes, and all of a sudden you're kind of maybe focusing now on economics as opposed to culture, or maybe you're now building a big army where you were working with technology before. So the changes in the game, the decisions you make are a lot bigger, bolder, and more dramatic. I think that leads to a faster moving and in some ways a more exciting game. Our audience is really anybody who might be willing to try a strategy game on the console. There are a lot of people that haven't tried strategy games. I think Civ is kind of the classic strategy game, and we've tried to make the game visually appealing and easy to play and allow those people to kind of try it. Our belief is once they try it, they're going to have to play one more turn and keep on going. For the experienced Civ player, I think all the elements of Civ are there, the technologies, the military diplomacy, all those things, in kind of a new format, and maybe they're ready to try something a little bit different. It's also an opportunity for an experienced Civ player maybe to introduce the game to someone that they know that doesn't play the game on the PC. It's maybe a little easier to play, and maybe they'll make a new friend, a new fan of the game, and that would be great. The multiplayer is a really exciting new feature of the game. We're able to really tap into and leverage the existing networks that exist, the Xbox Live, for example, the PS home system, and the Wi-Fi on the DS. So we're really able to take advantage of these infrastructures, achievements on Xbox Live, and add Civ to them, so that we can play team games. You can share, if you're playing on a team, you share your technologies and your wonders with your other team players. So every player can have a special role to play in a game. There's classic head-to-head competitive games, and the Game of the Week. So there are some new modes, but but with kind of seamless multiplayer gameplay that we have access to on the consoles, I think it'll really make multiplayer a really great aspect of this new game. Getting the game to work with the console controller is really the first thing that we tackled. I mean, if that didn't work, if that didn't feel natural, we really didn't have a game. So that was the first thing we did was bring the game, put a prototype together, and actually play with the console controller. And what we found was for a turn-based strategy game, the controller is a perfect input device. We can scroll around the map with the joysticks. There may be 3 or 4 different things a unit could do at any one time. They map very nicely to the 4 buttons, and then you can use the shoulder buttons to cycle between all your units or cities. Special functions, triggers can control the camera. There's all sorts of cool stuff that we do with the controller, and once you play for 10 or 15 minutes, it feels perfectly natural. We are going to take advantage of the Wiimote when the Wii version of Civilization comes out as an interface device. It's not going to be a game about swinging your sword around and chopping people's heads off, but we want to take advantage of the hardware, the capabilities that are there to make it the most seamless and easy to play game that it can be on Wii. One of the advantages of developing for consoles is certainly that you have a well-defined set of hardware, support from the manufacturer for that hardware, and experiencing the industry working in that hardware. So that has been an advantage. Certainly, we've had to learn this new technology, but it's not been a moving target. It's been a stable target, and I think we can look at other games and see what other people are doing, take advantage of industry-wide experience with this hardware, and really get the most out of it. There have been a number of times when I've played this new game, and this light bulb has gone on and said, that's what I really meant to do in the first place with this game. What's great fun for me, one is the ability to really quickly change your strategy. I'll be going maybe for a technology victory, and I'll run into another civilization, and I realize that they're way ahead of me in technology. Whoops, it's time to build up my military and go that way. Or, maybe culture is the way to go. So the ability to really quickly change strategy is really rewarding in the game. And the end game, really for the first time for me in Civilization, has become an exciting race to the finish as opposed to kind of a building and building. With these different victory conditions, there's always a chance that somebody will kind of go off in a different direction and win in that way. So you really have to be aware of what's going on in the world and accelerate your rush to the end of the game, and that makes the game very exciting. So it's a game that's very compelling, and it has somewhat of a different feeling, a little more urgency, a lot of cool stuff. You're really thinking about a lot of things as you play this game, and thinking about them in kind of terms of I better get this done, or I better deal with this. So it's a game that kind of demands your attention and really draws you in a way that I haven't seen before.
Well,